Yo, what is up? It's your boy AM coming to you with an AM vlog. And today's vlog is going to be something a little heavy, something that probably doesn't get discussed quite often, but it is getting old. So the title of my vlog will be AM is Getting Old. And this year particularly was kind of like a shock for me because I started getting grays in my hair as well as in my beard, and it was something that I personally wasn't expecting because mentally in my mind I feel like I am still, in my 20s, but that's not the case. Nature, time, and everything else says no, you are 42 years old, and so now here's evidence of that. And so personally I was wrestling with this for a while because I didn't know what to do. Nobody has given me a manual or told me, what it's like to be old. You just all of a sudden are just older, and it's just something that you don't expect to happen, but it does. For me, I'm lucky. I'm able to reach this age. I'm Native American, I'm Navajo, Hopi, and I'm also, Spanish, Mexican, and a mixture of other things, which you can see up here in the link posted there. That showed, my DNA test. The average, Navajo male lives until he's 29. It used to be when I was younger to be like 21, which is crazy. But if I were to look through rose-colored glasses, I beat the odds, and so I'm doing very well. So I have no complaints there. But it's just strange that I have to come to face with this. I just gotta recognize that you are older and it's okay, and it's just like how you're gonna enter into this next phase of your life. You're gonna have to do so two ways. You can either go down fighting or you can enter it gracefully. And so that was the big decision that I had to wrestle with. And when it comes to your appearance, it's very, very important to have a very good appearance because it makes things a lot easier in life, no doubt about it. And so seeing the whites in my hair and on my beard, like I said, was a big shock, and I had to decide, do I start coloring my hair? And it was something I had to wrestle with. How long do you do that for? Do you go for another 20 years? Do you go for another 30 years? I don't know. But do I get Botox if my skin starts to wrinkle and all those types of things? Those are the questions you have to ask. And so it's a big thing that I had to wrestle with. And also, you also get faced with the question of your own mortality, right? I'm halfway through my life, and so hopefully I can make it to the other half, another 40 plus years if I'm lucky, because sometimes you don't know what's going to happen, and it's a really difficult subject to tackle. But I had to deal with that because there's evidence on my face that I'm growing older. I'm a person that kind of looks to to signs or just answers that come your way. I think personally that the universe speaks to you, and you just got to be receptive for it. You have to be ready for the answers that come your way, and if you're not ready, you'll miss it. And so you have to put yourself in a position that's willing to have the universe talk to you. And the best way I found to do that is either through nature, through hiking, or it could be through just with friends and family, or just even studying and things like that. You just gotta have to be attuned to the universe talking to you, and I believe that to be true. Some people might think that's superstition or out there, psychedelic and things like that. I think it's true, and so I'm gonna stand by that and stand on it and say that if you're willing to let the universe tell you what you're supposed to do, it will, and it will tell you exactly what needs to be done. And so for the past year and a half, when my hair is going gray and my beard is also going gray as well, I had to listen to the universe to give me the answers of how I'm gonna approach the next 40 years of my life. And what ended up happening was I found this book, which is Dave Grohl's The Storyteller. And I picked this up because I'm a huge Nirvana fan, and he used to be the drummer for the band back in the 90s, and he ended up starting a new rock band called the Foo Fighters, and I just wanted to read a little bit more about him. I've been on this journey of reading books and just kind of getting, more information about people who I like and things that I find interested in, and just getting more knowledge that way. I always think it's important to always be learning and always be, receptive to like new skills and hobbies and traits. And as you saw through the channel, I learned Rubik's cubes, and I'm always developing these new skills. And so I started reading this book, and lo and behold, there was one chapter in this book that really spoke to me, that told me exactly what I needed to do. And it happened fairly early. So the way this book is written is kind of like short stories about Dave Grohl's life, and he gives kind of like anecdotes of things that has happened to him that are he feels is applicable to the reader. And so one of the stories that he's talking about is exactly what I was wrestling with, growing old and how do you approach it. And from his point of view, he comes to a definitive answer. And to me, that just answered how I'm going to approach this next stage of my life. And so just to kind of give you a short, I won't spoil it for you, but I'll give you kind of like a short little story about how it goes down, is that Dave Grohl, he ends up performing at the Hurricane Sandy, kind of like a benefit concert. And there he meets, two rock legends, and he doesn't name them by names, but one, they're older, like much older than he is, and he's also wrestling with the issue of growing old. He's been rocking since the 90s. He's probably about maybe 10 years older than I am. So he meets these two legends and he sees them. One of them has been trying to fight aging by getting surgery on his face and Botox and things like that. And the other one is just kind of letting himself go through the process, and he looks kind of like gnarly looking, and kind of like shows the wear and tear on his body of what he's been through. He says one looks like they put plaster on like a broken down car. And the other one, even though it's broken down, looks like a hot rod. Like, it's just cool looking because he's just has all the battle scars of just life on him and his face and things like that. And so he decides then and there that the way he's going to approach his life is he's just going to be really cool, badass old guy and accept, all the lines, all the wrinkles, all the flaws that come with growing old. And to me, that was just hit perfectly at home of what I was going through, because I didn't know what to do. Do I have to do all the work to pretend I'm not the age that I am? But ultimately I decided that I'm okay with what's going to happen, and I just got to go the punk rock route of just wearing all my scars and all my oldness on my face, and then just go down fighting that way. And if people like it, fine. If they don't, who cares? I'm just gonna stay true to myself, and I'm okay with that. And so if I wasn't able to look for those answers, I wouldn't have been able to find it. And for some reason, I think the universe told me to read this book, and I ended up doing it, and it worked out very, very well.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Being old, kind of freaky. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's just different. And the older you get, the closer you get to the other side, and it just becomes really interesting. And so I think a lot about personal legacy and things like that. And I'll probably cover more about that later on in more of the vlogs, but this is just my kind of way of sharing of how I'm approaching middle age and how I'm gonna go forward in the next 40 years. And hopefully I keep making videos and you can see me grow older and more badass as I get more gray. What I think would be kind of cool is once you start looking like Gandalf, you kind of sick looking. I mean, sick not as in gross, but I mean as sick as in cool. You're kind of it's kind of like metal, because in Lord of the Rings he had that long white hair, or Gandalf was super awesome. So that's kind of awesome. I can't wait. But there's also a part of me that feels a little bit jealous, because there's some people that just kind of went old really young, and then now they're forever young. So you see Steve Martin, he went full platinum white in his hair when he was in his 20s, and then now he just still has a platinum white hair, but because it's just been white for the last I don't know how many years, 50, 60, 70 years, he seems like he's forever young. And so that was kind of pretty lucky for him because now he's probably up there in age, and he still looks very young. He looks like he's still in his 20s because he went white a long time ago. So the transition's coming, and hopefully you can bear with me. If you want to see other cool videos like this, be sure to sub to AMPM Adventures. And if you want to see us on our journeys where we go to see cool stuff in the Pacific Northwest as well around the world, stay tuned to our channel. And other than that, I give you a big fat peace.